Hi. It is the division of labor that makes economics a social science. Adam Smith's masterwork, The Wealth of Nations, begins with the division of labor. He discusses how this is the source of all the gains in productivity, where we are more productive and therefore more affluent, able to consume more than in the past. But while Smith discusses the division of labor and its economic consequences, he devotes virtually no attention to discussing how the division of labor comes to be. In fact, he resorts to the most lame explanation, going back to methodological individualism, in fact, to argue that, well, people just have an intrinsic desire to truck, barter, and to exchange. As if this explains why 20 people get together in an iron factory, like he describes, to make pins. Smith goes into elaborate detail about this pin factory and how, well, one worker by himself might be able to make a dozen pins a day and a dozen nails, he's talking about nails, a day. While working together, each doing a tiny part of the task. One person pumping the billows, another drawing out the iron, another cutting, another shaping, each of them doing a very small task. By doing it in that way, with the minute division of labor, they're able to manufacture hundreds, thousands of pins in a single day. Now, Smith certainly establishes, we could discuss the problems with exactly how he approaches it, but, there's no question. The bottom line is he's right that we are more productive because we work together. The question then becomes why and what social institutions allow us to work together effectively. Now, as with everything in economics, there are two basic approaches. One, as Smith resorts to, is methodological individualism. Looks at how individuals might agree to cooperate in the division of labor. Because the division of labor raises productivity, it increases the total surplus, the total amount that's available. So there could be a natural incentive for people to cooperate. If we work together, then we produce more, then we can share it among ourselves. Everybody can be better off. The problem is that that doesn't get away from the basic incentive to cheat. And if people cheat, if there's a sense that the other people in the division of labor are cheating on you, then the whole thing falls apart. If you think somebody's stealing, then you're not going to cooperate with them. Now, Plato, the Greek philosopher, 55th century BC Greek philosopher, argued that, okay, yes, there's an incentive to cheat, but you know what? People are really better off if they don't cheat. Regardless of whether or not you get caught, you'll learn not to cheat because you'll feel like a bad human being if you do. Well, yeah, the whole of Plato's Republic develops this argument, and it's a beautiful text, but not terribly persuasive. Thomas Hobbes, the 17th century English philosopher, lived through the English Civil War, which was one of the most horrific experiences. He observed the rise of slavery in the British Caribbean. He knew how bad people could be. And his response, again from the methodological individualist perspective, is that people knowing how bad things will be, not how good they'll be with the division of labor, but how bad they'll be without the division of labor, people will agree to establish a Leviathan. That's the title of his masterwork. A Leviathan, a giant, overpowering state that's powerful enough to punish those who don't cooperate while rewarding those who do, with a share of the surplus created by cooperation. Now, okay, that's become Hobbes has become a major philosopher in understanding how societies are created. And later work in economics has generally followed his paths, at least in orthodox economics, the neoclassical school. Armin Alchin and Harold Demsetz wrote a very famous article about the origins of the division of labor in 1972 that basically develops this Hobbesian approach. There is an alternative, a social science approach, which looks at how social institutions can encourage cooperation, punish bad behavior, and the most effective societies, the societies that last, are the societies with effective institutions to facilitate the division of labor. And the best of these institutions are families, schools, and churches that teach good values. People who act honestly and who believe they're supposed to be honest and who feel that they're good when they're being honest and feel good about themselves when they're being honest, those people don't need policing. And those people, when they take part in the division of labor, contribute efficiently to the division of labor. In the Hobbesian world, you have to spend so much resources tracking down people, monitoring their behavior, that it wipes out a lot of the gains from the division of labor. But if people behave, if people have good moral values, then we don't need all this apparatus of police and surveillance. The great French sociologist and philosopher Émile Durkheim, late 19th, early 20th centuries, argued that the most important institution in maintaining the division of labor is a sense of justice and fairness. When people believe that they are being treated justly, they treat others honestly. When people believe that the social institutions around them are fair, then they behave well. And that is the most effective resource in maintaining Smith's division of labor: justice and fairness. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.